I am Hermes, messenger of the gods. Every ounce of our consciousness is being upgraded as we speak. And because matter is an emanation from spirit, this means we're taking our bodies with during this ascensional process. They too shall be upgraded. This is the shift from carbon-based bodies to crystalline silicon-based bodies. Our physical bodies were originally created from etheric substance. We first came to Earth in our crystalline form, but over time, as we descended into more and more dualism and fear-based expressions, we solidified into a carbon-based form. 666 is the mark of the beast, as most of us know. For years, people have been contemplating that this mark would be something the government would inflict on us, say in a microchip or implant. But the truth is, we have already had the mark of the beast on us. We have all been born into 666 carbon flesh suits. For the predominant matter our cells are made up of is carbon, which has 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons. This 666 structure we've been encased in has shared the same fate as our environment, a fate where decay and renewal, birth and death, are inevitable. But because ascension is happening so soon, the process sparked by the event, we shall no longer be enmeshed within this birth and death cycle. The rainbow light emanating from the sun, funneled in from our higher selves for collective rescue, shall upgrade these 666 flesh suits into 616 flesh suits, from carbon-based to crystalline silicon-based. In the past, people left their physical bodies to ascend to higher dimensions, and they did so after arduous spiritual training and in very small numbers. Ascension has been a painstaking process of individual determination in the Kali Yuga, but now we look forward to a mass ascension of all living souls while retaining our physical bodies, retaining the same basic form, but just being upgraded. The crystalline light body we'll be transitioning to has no weight, no true density as we know it, but is enmeshed with color, divine light, and ethereal substance. Our crystalline bodies shall ensure a healthy life, one that is free from the illnesses and dis-ease associated with the deep density of the third dimension. These bodies of light shall put us in a greater position of receptivity and psychic transmission, of sending, of transmitting throughout the multiverse the clarity of who we are while receiving the natural abundance of the new earth, effortlessly. Crystalline silicon is the dominant semiconducting material used in technology for the production of solar cells. And these cells are assembled into solar panels as a part of a photovoltaic system to generate solar power from sunlight. So the same way these crystalline silicon solar cells can receive the divine rays emitted from the sun, our crystalline silicon bodies will receive the ever-abundant light of the new earth, being able to harness it in full. Will be complete conductors of the abundant love energy throughout this new realm. So the Christians have been right this entire time. Jesus, the Son of God, is going to be initiating this rapture, this coming ascension. And Jesus, as most of us know by now, is an allegory, an astrological allegory for the movement of the sun across the zodiacal wheel. Now, the thing about the sun is that the sun is not only a divine energy portal which funnels information into this physical matrix, it's also the conglomeration of all of the living souls. And this is why we are creating matter, because the sun is you, is me, is us. And so the time is ripe to get out of this hyper-physical realm, to get out of Hades, and indeed, there shall be a magnificently huge burst emanating from the sun in the form of an ascensional rainbow light. Yes, which shall raise the vibration of all living souls and thus transport us to a new realm, a new earth, one where the law is love, expansion. How tasty. We have accomplished full realization of what we are and what we can be. Therefore, our higher selves have received the message, have received the coded commandments also, in order to fire the weapon, this giant burst of rainbow energy, which shall be hitting so very soon, and beginning this ascensional process. More and more, we are removing the toroidal field we've been immersed in. Let me explain. So, this is the toroidal field. This is the shape of creation. Our bodies have a toroidal field emerging from the heart. So this is the center point of the toroidal field. And the realm we're in is encased within a toroidal field. All life currently is encased within this toroidal field. Now, what this field does is preserve a central point of creation. So as we can see, everything is emanated, everything is a projection from the center point. And this is what we mean when we say we're shadow projections from the North Pole. We never left the Garden of Eden. We never left the North Pole of this plane. But we're simply experiencing a fractalized expression of this energy. And so, what's been fractalized? Well, our heart energy. If we want to pinpoint a location for our soul, it would be our heart space, this central point. And this is why when we live from the heart, when we focus on the eternal now, when we are truly heart-centered, then we are able to co-create with intent and with the knowingness that we are the ultimate manifestors. The thing about this field, however, is that when we're not living from the central point of creation, we experience illusions. Everything is simply an illusory projection from the state of love. How is this possible? Well, because the further we get away from love, we start to use this energy, this source energy, into creating illusions. And so everything we see in this energy extraction matrix, what we see in the world around us as the horrible, horrible reality we've been encased in, wars, the AI consciousness, the media, the governments, the bullshit hierarchies, all of these are illusions. And they're illusions because we have not been living from the central point of creation. And we collectively chose to experiment with a hyper-physical realm encased within a toroidal field. And the toroidal field is only necessary when we decide to fractalize our heart energy. Because in these bodies, in these flesh suits, we're able to not live heart-centered. So we're able to basically go out here, go out here, go out here, go out here, and experiment with all types of different masks and ways to cover up our divinity. And this is what we've done. If you look back at history, history is really just one giant illusion that humanity has been partaking in. However, what this coming event is doing is bringing us closer to the central point of creation. No longer do we feel burdened by the past or the future, and collectively we're getting out of the dark age constructs of illusions. So fear, anger, sadness, the victim mentality, these can all only exist when we're preoccupied with illusions. But more and more, we're getting back to this central point. Now, obviously, we're not at the North Pole. In our perspective, we're already here. We never left the North Pole. So, indeed, our original light bodies are right here. In dream time, we are sleeping. What this event, what this big burst of rainbow energy is going to do is take us closer to this point. And so I've mentioned in past videos the 4 continents surrounding the North Pole, which Mercator showed in his maps, which we see in Vedic cosmology and many other ancient cosmologies. These 4 continents are the new Earth that we are being transported to. And you may say, well, that's not the new Earth, that is this Earth. That is completely false. Let us get out of the materialist reductionist perspective. These 4 continents surrounding the North Pole are not the same realm as this realm. This is the Garden of Eden. This is the semi-physical, semi-ethereal landscape which has never been defiled and which is purely, endlessly in abundance and in accordance with the eternal spark of creation. So we're getting closer to the central point, but this is not the full ascension. The full ascension is happening right before 2020, and I mean right before 2020. When we shall see with 2020 vision, clear vision, my family, clear vision. And in the full ascension, we shall be merging back with the central point completely and zoom out of this toroidal field. And this is why we said in our commands, our coded commandments, remove Tora net. Because this shape of creation can only serve us when we're experimenting with illusion.